All right, Kofi here with some breaking news. Don't mind the sweat. Just came back from doing some cardio. The Bills have fired head coach Sean McDermott. And Adam Schefter said that Brandon Beane, the general manager, he will conduct the search for a new head coach. My thoughts are, well, not really surprised. I'm probably more surprised of the fact that Sean McDermott just himself got fired. I thought that if somebody had to go after the Denver loss on Saturday, it'd be both Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott. But obviously, Brandon Beane, he won the Cold War. You've seen reports, I've seen reports out of Buffalo that there seems to be some tension between Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane. Obviously, Sean McDermott probably not happy with how the roster has been constructed. Obviously, Brandon Beane has been criticized a lot for some of the drafts he had, some of the lack of action in free agency. So there was some tension there. You can kind of see it in some of the comments that Sean McDermott had made this past year. So I'm not surprised that at some point that would come to a head. And it came to a head today, obviously, with Sean McDermott's firing. Now, my thoughts on it, anybody knows me as a Bills fan, I was never really the biggest Sean McDermott fan. He did a good job. The Bills had not made playoffs 17 straight years when he got hired, and he got to the playoffs in that first year with Tyrod Taylor, or Tyrod Taylor as he likes to be called, in that first season in the playoffs. But the consistent story has been the inability in a lot of big games for the Bills to win. Not in the case of Denver in terms of bad coaching decisions. Obviously, the 13 seconds game, where instead of squibbing kick, he kicked it off. That allowed Kansas City to tie the game with that field goal late in the game. Trying to think of other really bad moves that he made in the playoffs. Obviously, that was the game against Cincinnati. The Bills were favorites, and they didn't come out. They did not play well in that game. There have been a lot of obviously he made some weird decisions in terms of the challenges and going for it fourth down in that game a couple years ago against Kansas City. So overall, Sean McDermott did a good job. I'm not going to overly criticize him, but in the end of the day, I felt like Sean McDermott there was a point. He had that Marty Schottenheimer point to him where just couldn't get it over the top. There's a level he get to, and that level was probably the AFC Championship game. So we'll see what the Bills do. Obviously, that's probably one of the top jobs in my opinion. You still got Josh Allen, so it's going to be a job to see who gets that job. So we'll see what the Bills do. All right, that does it. Obviously, Saint Zah and Scummag McGee will have more on PGN this Sunday.